And it starts the movie out in a nice, slow way.
It's beautiful. The light.
Michael has something that draws him to Texas. Michael feels that Texas as a state and as an image is heroic. He knew that Cade had to come from Texas. This father, this hero.
We scouted for the Cade house for months and months and months.
We combed through Texas. We went through the whole Austin area. We went through the whole Dallas area. We looked at Waxahachie. We know Paris, Texas.
We probably scouted over 200 houses to get that right.
Was furnished for a house full of children. So we basically had to strip it and start over and try to come up with character notes for Cade. He's constantly out of money. He doesn't have money to buy a lot of new furniture, but he's a guy with taste. He's constantly looking around trying to find cool parts to make things with. So we used the idea that he's a picker. He's able to pick. He's picked the coolest things in the world. So we did a lot of thrift store shopping and antique store shopping around the Austin area.
So one of the challenges with Cade's house was the fact that we wanted a relatively small house, but a giant barn to accommodate Optimus. And the two never really went together. The barn at the house was pretty small, so what we did an extension on it, and then we cut to an interior of a cotton gin in Elgin, Texas, which was a huge cavernous interior.
It was completely empty when we got here.
Everything you see in here, we brought in. Every piece, every light, everything except for the pigeons. We started about 12 weeks ago with the idea that it was a cotton barn originally. So we wanted to give a little back history. We have some old farm implements in here that could have been left over from his dad or the previous owner.
We've decided on areas that would be the blacksmith area. We've got an area with welding tools. There's a woodworking area, of course, a lounge and a gym, because we all know that Mark Wahlberg and Cade are very fit people, so they spend some time working out. And then, of course, the robotics area.
We did our robot search all over the country, actually all over the world, looking for lifestyle robots that could be the next $1 million idea for Cade.
We went through quite a long time of vetting and figuring out what Michael liked and what style he liked.
What we're really looking for is not professional robots you would find in Detroit in a factory. We're looking for something that somebody that was an enthusiast had made. Maybe a really smart enthusiast, as Cade is.
Here we go.
We really enjoyed getting to know that community. They're really wonderful people.
Does this delivery thing still work?
My robots tend to be a little bit unusual in nature. I also build them from more common materials, let's say, and they don't have that polished commercial look to them.
What's the estimated time of arrival usually, average?
I think they liked the fact that they looked that way, that they looked homemade.
There's some sensors on it, but those are disabled for the most part, just so it does the exact same thing every time, as much as possible. He's happy to be here. Any mood wants.
Working with Michael's interesting as well. Getting the robots to work on demand for him has been challenging. But I've enjoyed the challenge.
Probably the best part of this is being able to see all of the gadgets. Also, the attention to detail is amazing.
Had a good morning this morning. We started this morning at very early, first light. We did some helicopters flying around. Cars coming up that road, that road. First we'll do the tow truck coming up. And then we'll do the Savoy vehicles coming up.
3 Suburbans come up this way. Titus, this is gonna be your car? Beautiful.
Got some really good stuff going.
Standing out here in a super hot Texas field.
It's hot.
It's hot. Now I'm gonna do something. It's a crouching run. It's a signature acting move of mine. I call it a crun. And you'll see me, I mean, you know, Mark's in the shot too, but it's mostly all about me. Just crouching as I run in a banana fashion. And then I do a tree cower, okay? Or a trower.
Optimus Prime busted out of the garage. We blew the doors out for that.
There's gonna be a good loud pop out of the door. If you need ear protection, Props has it.
So the pole represents where Optimus probably is standing after he's on the run coming out of the barn. He won't be sitting still when you see it in the film. And so then here's the truck that gets flipped. It'll be a near miss where Optimus almost gets hit by the missile, but the truck gets hit instead.
And then he runs around out front and he starts blasting up the soldiers at this end.
3, 2, 1, go!
Well, what's gonna motivate them guys flying through the air is rocket hits. We're putting in some black powder lifters. Pretty benign stuff, some topsoil, a little bit of broken up cork. When we set them off, big boom of dirt. They fly through the air. Looks great.
One missile is fired by Optimus, and it goes shooting out of the barn. And accidentally goes into the farmhouse, and the farmhouse blows up.
We had to blow up their real house, but we put a fake front facade on the porch. So we used the porch and we drywalled the whole inside of the porch, put the mortars in, and then put fake walls up where the porch posts are.
This is a real house right here, all this black wall, and it is protected so that nothing happens to it. This is the phony wall here, all deaded out, ready to go like nobody's business.
You don't want to put like one Kenny pack that shoots dust bomb like out that way.
You can do that right next to the back porch.
Yeah, so you really gets, yeah, so you...
From the back.
In the side.
It really just gives a streamer, just whoosh. Yeah?
Got it.
All right, here we go.
There was a facade here that blew out. It looked like the exterior of the house, just like that. There was a little bit of damage. Some of the inner windows blew because of the concussion. I think one of the posts needs some repair. That is an important part of supporting the house, but other than that, it went really well.
Farms are fun, but they're more fun when you're blowing them up, I think is the consensus.
Action, guys.
It's been really, really strange to be trying to keep up with Wahlberg.
Come on, run!
Because we'll run 100 yards and Michael Bay will be saying, let's go, we gotta reset.
Let's go one more time.
We've got the choppers going.
Send the helicopter.
We've got all the SUVs going. People are firing rounds. So we'll run back and Wahlberg doesn't even break a sweat.
All right, cameras ready, guys?
Action, 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 action. Come on. Come on.
And I'm just trailing behind like... Wahlberg was in 2 guns, you know? He was in the shooter. I was recently at a Hardee's.
Well, we're in Taylor, Texas. Small town. Yeah, it's a pretty quiet town. Nothing really happens.
All right, we're rolling. Ready.
Nothing big.
You're sending warning shots above. Up, 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 up. All right. Did it look good? Good. Yeah. All right, let's move.
It was 3 weeks of filming all the great, iconic little towns around Austin.
Day 12. Lovely Lockhart, Town Square.
We kind of cobbled Elgin, Taylor, and Lockhart, and we cobbled bits and pieces together to create this small town, but it had lots of alleys and squares, and it still had that small town feel, but gave us enough real estate to have this rally car chase.
4 full loads are gonna go blowing this. He's coming through. You all know where you're going.
B-14.
We had the car pipe ramp and cannon through a cotton truck.
The speed of the 2 cars coming down is 40, 40 miles an hour. First cannon car is going first, then the pipe ramp car is going second.
We have an air mortar and a primer cord ring to blow the cotton up in the air to accentuate the impact as they hit.
We're in 97-degree heat up on top of the hill. Very limited vision, traveling 40 miles an hour. I hit the button at the right time. You feel the, the cannon, boom, and then you're flipping, and then you feel the impact of the ground, you're bang! Oh, that was serious. And then someone else, I see a shadow of a bumper, bow! And I'm like, oh, there's that. And it comes to a stop, and I'm like, okay, we're good. It was absolutely as safe as you could possibly make that.
Fantastic.
We finish up here tomorrow and on to Michigan for the next 7 weeks.
That was great.
This is the first time that one of the movies in the franchise has traveled the entire schedule. You know, we needed to inject some fresh locations, which Mike is very passionate about.
We have started this movie in the most incredible place, Monument Valley. From there, we went to Austin, Texas, Hong Kong, state of Washington, Beijing, Chicago. Now we're in Detroit.
We filmed at GM locations in Detroit and Michigan for 2 months.
General Motors bought into the Transformers franchise with the rest of us from the start when nobody knew if this was a good idea for a movie. They've given us access to things that you wouldn't expect they would normally be willing or able to do.
We were at their proving grounds, which is where they test all their vehicles. It's an amazing freeway and road system.
It was great because we had these freeway-type situations without any other traffic on there. It was great.
This is where the robots are running down, chasing the group. This Winnebago is parked, and the big trailer is jackknifing and slamming into here. He jumps over the jackknife truck, jumps on this wall, and crashes through the big semi, 48-foot semi-trailer.
We're rolling camera. Crane moving.
Then we were at their Lansing plant, where we were on the factory line.
The higher-end production line in Lansing, we turned into KSI China.
And it was hugely beneficial to us because the background that we got with just being there was, we couldn't create that. It was such a gift. And then we were at the tech center.
Okay, we're at Warren, Michigan at the General Motors Tech Center campus, and we're at the Aerodynamics Wind Tunnel.
It's got a great sound.
We have a 4,500 horsepower motor that turns a 43-foot diameter fan.
Sound, you also need to get a separate sound to this thing, okay?
It's been wonderful having Transformers here. Our day-to-day testing is a lot of fun. We do a lot of interesting things here.
All right, stay there.
Right, we all got soaked in there.
But this is a nice change from our day-to-day activity.
Go!
I'm under no illusions that we got to do some very special things.
Are you going to invent this way out of this one?
Filming in their giant wind tunnel, nobody's ever done that before, and I doubt anybody ever will again.
All right, daylight this way, come on.
We were able to find a wonderful location for the CIA in Detroit, which is the design building of GM, which is a marvelous office that was designed by Eero Saarinen. This fabulous mid-century modern feel.
Well, I was fascinated by that place. Beautiful reflecting pools, the dome, and that staircase with the water underneath the staircase, and the way the landscaping was. It was so quintessentially post-war modern architecture. All Eero Saarinen. I mean, it was beautiful.
It was a fantastic experience. Amazing architecture, amazing facilities, and that was a really great partnership and a really great synergy between GM and Transformers.
They're really a part of the fabric. They're part of the look, they're part of the support. They're really part of the Transformers family.
And then we shot the spaceship in around the Detroit area in Michigan.
The lockdown craft, let's call it, was a big deal design-wise.